its arse. You stop that, for Christ! Oh, God. Fuck's sake.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you've had a decent sleep. The sick are waiting, and being tired doesn't excuse us from our duties.
All right, give me a moment. Then we'll go and check on the patients. And where's Benedict, anyway?
If I may, gentlemen. Haven't you heard? There was a fire here last night.
A fire? Here at the monastery?
The small shed by the mill house burned down, but it was probably just an unfortunate accident. Thank the Lord it's all over now.
And no one was hurt?
Well, that's the thing. No one burned, but there were 2 men in the shed. Or rather, 2 bodies.
Bodies? Whose were they, for God's sake?
That... I don't know, sir.
And how do you know they didn't die in the flames? Just because they weren't burnt to cinders doesn't prove anything.
I didn't see them, but they said there were no burns, and it didn't look like they'd suffocated either.
So, how did they end up there? What killed them? Didn't anyone tell you about them?
They were sent to be washed, but the washers noticed, signs.
Who found them? And how did he get them out?
Elijah, one of the lay brothers. He ran into the flames thinking he could save them, but they were already dead.
And what was he doing outside in the middle of the night? You don't suppose he had something to do with it?
He's never been any trouble. There's no reason to suspect him.
How do you know about these signs? Did someone examine them?
No, they were only to be washed, but when the signs of illness were spotted, the abbot ordered them locked away in the hops store. Ludolf promised he'd send one of his men to guard the door. No one is to go near them.
That was highly irresponsible. Someone needs to examine them thoroughly. We can't afford uncertainty.
You want to bring them to the infirmary with the others? No. No, let them stay locked away somewhere separate.
Are you afraid the other sick might get even worse? At least we could have them all in one place.
Was anyone else there besides Elijah?
No, or at least no one I know of. I'll leave you to it now. If you need me, I'll be with the sick.
I'm going to. Disease? Fire? What next? A swarm of locusts?
First they ransacked my room, now this. I don't like it one bit.
Do you think the fire's got anything to do with what they were after in your chambers?
Who knows? I feel like someone wants us gone, and they're trying to frighten us into leaving.
And are you considering it? Leaving, despite the abbot's order?
I thought about it for a while, but those infected need us. I can't leave them at the mercy of the disease.
All the more reason to get to the bottom of this.
But I can hardly go poking around myself to find out what really happened.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for.
Well, maybe Zacharias was right after all. You never know when an aid like that might come in handy. So, what's your plan?
Quite a few things, actually. I'll take a look around the burned-down shed. There might still be some clues.
Good idea. It might have just been an accident, but it won't hurt to make sure.
I should probably speak with the lay brother who pulled the bodies out of the flames.
Elijah, right? But be gentle. No one should have to go through what he did last night.
What about the corpses? You said you wanted to examine them.
And that's what I'll do. We can't afford doubts when there's a deadly illness spreading.
But Benedict said the abbot forbade it, and that one of the knights is watching over them.
If he's got any sense at all, he'll understand this is serious. A proper diagnosis is key to the next step.
Someone searched our room just a while ago. And who knows what they'd do if they caught you wandering around alone. I won't have that on my conscience. Better you stay here, and I'll sort it somehow.
So what you're saying is, use an unorthodox approach.
Well, I'm no physician like you, but I've learned a lot about the illness. I could say I'm your apprentice.
That won't be enough.
Then I'll explain to him the same way you did to me. We need to examine them and find out what was wrong with them, or we'll never get anywhere with treatment.
That's probably best. But you must examine them thoroughly. And don't be repulsed.
So, what exactly should I be looking for?
Anything unusual. You know well the symptoms the sick here have, but a keen eye may spot other signs too. If you're not sure, just try to remember what you saw. If you describe it to me later, I should be able to identify it.
I can't think of anything else.
Nor can I. Well then, best of luck.
What are you doing here? You aren't supposed to be here.
I was just leaving.
Well, what'll it be? Hear me?
It seems I've got a bit lost. Just take me away.
Come on then. And be more careful next time.
You'd best move along.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here. And I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation. And I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some labourers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves. And they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years. And even back then, I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
Oh, that's a shame. It was just starting to get interesting. Still, I'd very much like to have a look at the travel records, just in case.
I'll be glad to show them to you, to examine. But first, we must report those vile thieves to the abbot.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. His journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues. According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say. So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. And still, despite all the records and mentions, Crispin had his doubts. Why?
Well, are you still so enamored with Lord Bavor?
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
How is that even possible? A grave can't just disappear.
Quite frankly, I don't know. And I didn't know then either. Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter. And it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree. Something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
See? Even you don't know all the secrets the monastery hides.
And I never claimed I did, although I admit not knowing this will haunt me in my dreams. How could I have missed it?
Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Vitus isn't here anymore. So we can pick up where you left off. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
What's it like down there? Any sign of those workers who've gone missing? Master Ludolf said we're not to leave anything unchecked. And I mean to oblige him. I'll give the place another once-over. You take a proper look down below, too. Ludolf's not too happy about those workers.
This must have been some night. There's a cross above his head, but a rose in the crest. And I'm looking for an arrow. Ugh. Best not tarry here too long. Unless I want to end up in the infirmary as well. A crozier and mitre. That'll be an abbot's tomb. Got the hood. Sarcophagus of a nobleman. Some past abbot's tomb. Maybe even Heinrich. Nice. Looks more like an abbot's tomb from the carving. Good thing. I'll be shifting that rubble for days on my own. Bavor's crest. So it's true. That's not Bavor. I need to tell Crispin. hell. God have mercy on your soul. Looks like this one was shadowing me in the crypt. But how the hell did he get into the monastery?
Nowhere. Maybe there's something in the depository. But I can't get in there now.
Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared. And more than that, I truly did find Bavor's sarcophagus in the hidden chamber.
By all the saints? And the relic? Was it there?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good lord, that's truly strange.
I swear it's true. But now I haven't the faintest idea what to do next. I was kinda hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
What do you mean, not buried here? Everything points to it.
Until we find the body, we can't be certain. The travel records, the accounts, all point to the intent, but not its fulfillment.
There was his coat of arms on the bottom of the sarcophagus.
Yes, which would support my second theory that his remains were moved.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
Oh, come on, Crispin. We're searching for Bavor together. Surely you can make an exception. just forget for a moment I'm not a monk like you, and tell me what you know. Please.
Oh, very well. Since you're so insistent, to be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
Hang on. That consecrated field is enormous. I'll be searching for weeks, and I can't even get in there now. Better to scout the infirmary church first.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you manage to find Bavor at last.
What do you want?
How else can you...
Other than shrinking portions, and when the Black Death ravaged the land.
What, perform...
Don't blaspheme!
Where could I learn more about...
There might be a small manual.
Do you know where Elijah is? I really need a word with him.
I'm not sure if he's still there, but I think I saw him heading to the cellar this morning. He looked rough.
Amen. There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Psst. Keep your voice down. Elijah isn't here. What do you want? Mother Mary, full of grace. Bloody mutt. Damn beast. Don't talk to me.
He's blind drunk. He can barely speak.
I can still smell it. The smoke and the Christ almighty. Bloody flea-ridden mutt. No one's allowed in.
Why not? Is it because of the bodies?
Damn, so you've heard too. They told me not to speak about it with anyone. They wanted them buried quickly so they can rest in peace. But until then, no one's allowed near.
Master Albic sent me. He asked me to examine the bodies before they're buried.
Examine them? What for?
They might have been infected. Just like the people in the infirmary. If that's true, Albic needs to know.
And what if they were? It's not like anyone can help them now.
But if I examine them properly and identify the symptoms, it might help others. The more we learn about the illness, the better our chances of curing everyone.
Yeah, all right then. But be quick, eh? I don't want any trouble. Shoo, you flea bag! Shoo, you flea bag!
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labour. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. And his bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars. Gravel embedded in both knees. And, blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Now for the older one. Pale. Sunken eyes. Missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from.
Shoot, you flea bag!
Dogs aren't allowed here. What's it doing here?
Go on, find your master!
don't...
It looks like you're feeling better.
My head stopped spinning, but I don't feel any better. I wish everyone would just leave me be.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink?
Hey, what do you even know about me? After a night like that, you'd have had a drink too.
All right. Sorry. Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. Just the dog was there.
The dog?
That's how I noticed the fire. The dog was darting about, barking like mad, so I thought there was someone inside. Someone alive.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I've seen the corpses, and I've got a few questions.
Does it have to be?
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark, I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
I noticed some strange things about them.
Like what?
It looks like they died of the same illness that's spreading through the monastery infirmary.
Christ! And I touched them. But I feel fine. So far.
You'd best go and see Brother Benedict. He'll examine you, and at least clean up those burns.
All right then.
One of them had flour in his hair. Any idea where it came from?
Well, the flour store's right next to the shed that burned down. What do I know?
Dead men weigh a lot. How did you even get them out of the burning shed?
On my back? Like carrying a sack. Why?
Their backs were badly scraped. So I thought maybe you dragged them by the legs or something.
That must have happened before. Maybe when someone dragged them in... Godlessness.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I have no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud. All right?
Right. Right. Thanks.
How else can you...
Other than shrinking portions and thinning out the gruel and broth with water. When the Black Death ravaged the land, Salarius Vendelin ran the kitchen. They say that even though he had...
performed?
Don't blaspheme!
Where could I learn more about this vet?
There might be a small
Overturned sacks, soaked ground, so that's why the dead man had flour in his hair. A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Rough cloth, badly charred, and bits of leather. Probably used as knee protection for work. Oil. Burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed. That's one deep rut. Whoever dragged them, poor wretches gave him a rough time. Now I get what Elijah was talking about. Ugh. A cart and rose bushes. If he dragged them through the ditch, no wonder they were in such a state. Wheel tracks, headed that way towards the gate. This way won't work. I'll have to find another route. Locked, damn it. Something's jammed in the lock. There's no way I can pick it.
I'll go straight to the baths.
No. Only a madman would drag them this way. Someone would have seen something. I need to go another way. It's hopeless. I can't get it open. Cart tracks lead to the herbalists. Maybe Joachim knows more. Poor beast. Who did this to you? Poor beast. Who did this to you? What in damnation is going on there? Bit neglected, but otherwise a nice place for one's final rest. I hope I find Bavor here, so I don't have to search the whole consecrated field. Master Bavor! Where are you hiding? What did I expect? All these dead are starting to make me uneasy. Memento Mori. Unmarked grave. Peace to your soul, whoever you are. Who knows who lies here? Let's not disturb them. A humble grave. Doesn't look like Bavor's. I'd rather meet someone alive now. Boleslav's crest! At last! Let's hope its lord lies somewhere nearby. Back. And the rest. I hope this is it. The armor, the crest, the sword. It has to be him. The valiant knight Boleslav Bavor. May his soul rest in peace. Only no sign of the relic. Something's still eluding me. If he even was buried with it. Forgive me, Master Bavor. You won't be needing it anymore. My God. A Crusader's sword that saw the Holy Land. A true honor.
Said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere. and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I've told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your head, damn it. Now everyone and their dog is sniffing around here.
I couldn't just...
I thought I made myself clear. They stay here, you don't leave, and nobody must know a thing.
But what was I supposed to do? Your master...
Provided you with everything you needed, and paid you generously. Or am I wrong? What about that fire? Were you just covering your ass, or planning to rat on us too?
They were infected. For the sake of everyone in the monastery, I did what had to be done.
Doing what has to be done. For everyone's sake. Dennis!
Wine?
You're in for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit!
It here.
Did you?
He's gone. Hold on. I'll fetch help.
Don't trouble yourself, son. But please, stay.
No. No, I'll run for Albie.
Pray with me. The Lord will soon welcome me.
All right. But I need to ask you something first.
Yes?
Why did you set the shed alight? Were you trying to get rid of the bodies?
Get rid of them? No. But should they rot under my roof? I only hoped the fire would consume them, and that'd be the end of it.
Did you try to treat those poor souls yourself?
I did my best. On the orders of Master Zacharias, I tried everything, even against their will, but either the sickness had advanced too far, or I simply lacked the knowledge.
All right. And now the prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh, Christ above. Go with God. Amen.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste.
You rats! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim is
dead. And that Dinesh of yours, too.
So now you kill me?
Give me just one more reason. Albik, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
I thought you and Albik were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albik may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albik showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? You're mad. You want me to help you? Now, after all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albik's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albik spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No. That was Dinesh.
You swine. Albik confided in you that he had them, and you poisoned him so that...
I was hoping to frighten him. Maybe he'd give them to me for safekeeping. But the mad old fool went and hid them somewhere. So I need you to find them.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. Something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
You're not talking about Sir Valentine's sword, are you?
No. I'm talking about the relic of Sir Boleslav Bavor of Blatna.
So you mean there's more than one relic hidden here in the monastery? Aren't these things meant to be incredibly rare?
How should I know? I'm no chronicler. Either way, if you want Albik to leave here alive, and yourself along with him, you'll put in the work and find that grave. Or rather, what's in it. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albik wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me. So we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albic will die right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
You miserable bloody bastard. I'll do it, but only for Albic's sake.
I expected nothing less.